Welcome everyone to the Pine Leaf Needles channel update for July 2018, where I'll go what I did during the month of June and what my plans are for the month of July. So let's first go over what I did in June. We'll begin with the Lord of the Rings Online, where my lore master completed volume 2 of the epic storyline. Yes, I am done with Moria and I am done with Mirkwood, and I am now done with season 3 of the series. So that is another season completed and another major milestone reached. Then, in the Lay of Rust and Rime, we resumed the second block of quests because that was being released in 2 blocks. They started the second block, and I'm about halfway through that block currently. Then, I also ran the Eriador version of the scavenger hunt all the way through there during the encore of the anniversary. This is a scaled down version of the scavenger hunt where all of the quests are in Eriador. The stuff that was outside of Eriador was cut out. So therefore some of them were pretty much the same size as the original version. And then there are others which was just a tiny little bit that you have in there. And there are 1 or 2 that were cut out either because they were exactly the same as the Eriador version or because there was nothing left to do once you cut out all the bits that were outside of Eriador. Also in Minecraft, I managed to survive the June Minecraft Hardcore Challenge. I was on an island trying to become a hermit, trying to build a nice little home there, and I decided to do that in version 1.13, and I managed to do that without being killed by either drowned or by any of those pesky phantoms that go after you if you stay up too long. So I will say that first attempt to live with phantoms going on in the area was successful. And in Wellstopia, we managed to finish out season 3. I finished up the Temple of Elemental Pine by building the various elemental nodes, and that seemed to work out pretty successfully on that, and that completed the temple altogether. We also had the tour of my base that I included on there, and I also added in a little tour of Stina Rose's base because that was the nearest one to me, and I also felt that that was a real nice interesting theme, and the whole place was done quite wonderfully. Also in Minecraft, I completed a series called The Fork Spear, where I was trying to test drive 1.13 to see how well it went, and I've had some nice things that really worked out well, and of course ran into a couple of bumps in the road there. I had some corrupted blocks in the end, and with it nearing time for the release, I thought it was a good time to also end the series in there. And I also ran through the June base race, which is the first base race I attempted and recorded on there. I managed to complete the base race, but it took a very, very long time. Early episodes are done continuously as I do when I do the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, but the last episode there was more time cut out than was actually in there, and in fact I gave the actual time it took me to do it way at the end there, which is something like 13.5 hours or some ridiculous amount of time, which is way too long in that. So I obviously need to get better at doing the base race. And I also had a couple of runs through One Deck Dungeon where I continued in the Paladin campaign, and I also did a test with Kaliana, which is a new character that had recently added to the app in there. I got pretty good along with Kaliana, but didn't quite reach the dragon in there, so I need a little polishing on how to work with that character. Kaliana is a very interesting little character in there because she's able to easily dodge damage in there, but if she gets ever does get hit, then she leaves the dungeon. So therefore, acts very differently from all the other characters on how they operate on there. But that's what I did during the month of June. So let's see what I have scheduled for July. And July is going to be a rough one. Well, sometimes I go in there thinking maybe I'll be able to hold the schedule I have in June. I actually came pretty close to holding the exact schedule I gave, though there are one or two unpredictable elements in it, like the whole thing the with the scavenger hunt and the like on there, because I wasn't sure exactly how long that was going to take. But I would say things are probably going to be very rough coming up in June. Now, in Lotro, I'll be starting season 4 of my Lore Master series. I don't know at the exact rate in which I'll be doing episodes. At the very, very least, I will be doing episodes 3 times a week on there on the current schedule, on the Tuesdays, the Thursdays, and the Saturdays as I'm currently at. I may add additional episodes in there on top of that because I don't have these other series to do that I had last month, because we don't have the whole thing that we had with the scavenger hunt, and we don't have the other little bits. Yeah, the scavenger hunt we don't have this month, and that was for the main thing that might have been able to go into there. So therefore, I will say no scavenger hunt, nothing else that's going to be taking up time during the month. Well, we do have the Layer of Rust and Rhyme, and that will be continuing to be on Sundays throughout the month, and I expect to finish up Layer of Rust and Rhyme, and I'll be starting the Lore Master series. Now, I also may be doing some one deck dungeon during this time period in some of those things that are in between. As I said, I'm only guaranteeing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. For the rest of the days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I may either have extra episodes of the Lore Master series, or I may insert some board game stuff, such as One Deck Dungeon, because I do want to continue on that Paladin series. And I also might be trying out a game that is currently in early access. It is a digital implementation of Scythe. I'm still thinking about whether or not to have that. Now, on the Minecraft side, I do have quite a bit that's scheduled in here for the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, of course. We are going to be heading into a jungle and attempting to build a tree house. So let's see how well I can do that. Jungles can be very dangerous, a lot more dangerous than deserted islands out there, because you have mobs that could pop up all over the place. So this would be a lot more dangerous, I think, than the island survival one. Then in the base race for July is all getting prepped up. It has not yet been officially announced, but most likely I will be doing that also. And that will probably be coming out on Tuesdays and Saturdays, with the MHC, of course, on its usual Mondays and Fridays. So similar schedule that we had last month. I don't know yet how long it'll take for the base race, because last month, well, that took a little bit longer than I thought. So hopefully I could do a little bit better on the base race that I did in June. As for Wellstopia, we don't know yet when that'll start. The next season of Wellstopia will not start until after the release of 1.13, and as of this recording, they are still in pre-release number 5, and it's not quite ready for release because I recorded the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge in pre-release 5, and yes, there are some lag issues in that. So therefore you will notice that. So therefore we are going to have a low tick rate in there. So it's not quite ready for release. I expect maybe in a couple of weeks, though, we will have 1.13 out. And probably about a week after that, I expect Wellstopia to resume. We'll have to see there. It may start during the month of July, or it may have to wait till the beginning of August on there. And I also have another series I'm planning to start called Atomic Islands. And that's going to be my single player series. And I'm hoping to start that sometime in the month of July, but that is also dependent on the release of 1.13. And until that's released, I can't do it because I'm definitely not going to do that in pre-release 5. As I said, we had that thing with a little bit of lag in there. And I'm probably going to wait until there's an official, stable 1.13 release. Then I'll be starting that new series in there. So therefore, I've got a couple of series in here that are in the balance. And we've got a couple of things on the Lotro side that are in the balance in there. So that's why I said I'm not 100% sure on what kind of schedule we are going to have. What we definitely are going to have is we're going to have our Lore Master series. We're going to finish up the Lay of Rust and Rime. We are going to have the Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, where I'm going to attempt to build a treehouse in the jungle, preferably without getting killed. And of course, I will be attempting to do base race, and hopefully I can do this without taking 12 hours as I did last month. How will I succeed? We'll find that out when I return for the next update in August. But until then, this is Pilot Needles reminding you to picnic responsibly.